Ladies and gentlemen, boys and NBs, welcome to Season 6, The Haunting for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone, and this video is on Warzone. I will have the multiplayer meta spread in the next video. It's coming out today as well. Sorry it took so long to put these out. It was a very long day yesterday, and I didn't realize the Purgatory mode would instantly level guns to the roof. So there's a tip. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you are new here, because over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, and I would hate for you to not be able to find your way back. All right, let's get into this and break these down because we got a lot to go over here. All right, so first we're going to start with talking about last season's meta weapon that was absolutely overpowered in the STG-44. It did get a slight nerf in the patch, but it is still absolutely at the top of the meta. You just have to be able to aim a little better with this gun that has absolutely no recoil, so it's not a big deal. The STG-44 is still absolutely at the top of the meta, and the build hasn't changed here. If you watched my JGod video the other day, you saw me break this down and show why it was the best build. Quartermaster suppressor, because it's the Quartermaster suppressor. The Bruin Accrue heavy barrel. This is going to give us a better range, better control, all around the best barrel for this gun. We're then going to back that up with the Igneous L5 stock to give us stability, recoil control. Once again, the best stock in the game. 50 round drum is definitely needed now in all modes, just because if you whiff shots and hit low, you are going to need extra bullets. I have the AOK RQ9 Recon as my optic. This is for big map. I would swap to something like the Jack Glassless for the small map. That goes for every gun in this game pretty much. Let's move on to its partner because the STG is still absolutely busted. Another thing that was touched in the patch, but this one was actually made better and it just keeps getting better. The BP50 is insane, especially in SMG form. And this is a build that we've went over here on the channel all the way back when they first released this. This is the best SMG in the game, in my opinion, bar none. And we're going to start with the Scratch 20 suppressor. This is going to give us firing aim stability and keep us off the map and cost us 1% or 2 milliseconds of aim down sight speed. We can add the 1 milliwatt quick fire laser so people cannot see the laser, but we can get the ADS benefits. The high grain rounds, because essentially we just need something, so we might as well push our damage range out. If you need an optic, I would drop this to throw the optic on, and then we finish off with the TRS-T4 grip tape, which this is going to make us absolutely fly and fry. This is by far my favorite option to clear buildings with and just stuff people's faces. Of course, you do need the Jack Revenger kit to turn it into a submachine gun. Let's move on to our next set. And all right, I'm not going to edge you guys forever. Let's talk about the new gun at the very tippy top of the meta. Nothing can beat this thing. The H-Car, or as they call it here, the DTIR 30-06. This thing is busted. There's not a better way to put it. It is a 6-shot kill anywhere, and it is insane. It has 0 recoil with this build, and I do literally mean 0. You don't have to touch your sticks or move your mouse to keep shots on unless they are moving. It has an effective kill range out to about, well, as far as you can see. So if you can see across map, you can kill across map. And we're going to once again start with that Quartermaster suppressor because this will remove what little recoil this gun has. And we're going to throw on the EXT-N010, a long barrel, to push out that velo and range as best we can. Rifleman 200 stock, because this is going to give an absurd amount of recoil control, once again making this thing literally have 0, but more importantly, we get aim idle stability here, which we absolutely need on our ARs for mid-long range. 40 round is the biggest we have, but it's not a big deal because with this thing firing at 400 rounds per minute, it's essentially like having a 60 round mag on a gun that fires around 6 to 600. Once again, I have the AOK 4x RQ9 Recon as my optic. I would switch to the Glassless for Rebirth Island. The DTIR is absolutely the best mid-long range option in the game, bar none. I'm in love with this thing. I love the H-Car in real life. I actually own one, and it is my favorite gun that I own. And I'm actually pairing that with what is my favorite SMG currently, and that is the Striker 45, whatever you want to call it, is my favorite SMG, and it feels incredible. It has the same TTK as the BP50, but the BP50 does have slightly less recoil. This thing is absurd. We're going to start with the Sonic Suppressor to push our range out. We're going to take a tiny hit to our sprint to fire, but we have a higher than usual sprint to fire, the SMG category anyway, with this build. The Striker's stubby barrel here, you can use the long or the stubby. It's up to you and what you feel. Just know you'll be slower with the long, but it'll be more viable. The Paracord grip, because it's the Paracord grip, 48 round mag is more than enough, even in quads. The FSS this priority tactical stock is an absolute must. When you see the stats in this stock, you're going to be like, wow, how did I not realize how good this is? I'll leave that for you to find. Check it out. The striker is insane, and I think we all know it. Another mid-long range gun that didn't really get touched this season and is at the top of the meta is the BAL 27. And I'm actually really hype about that because I love this gun. This thing feels so good, and yeah, it has a little bit of recoil, but it hits like an absolute dump truck. And with this build, once again, it's that quartermaster suppressor. Then we're going to throw in the Crown H3 barrel for range and velo as always. We've got the sandbar heavy stock on here because we get better recoil, better stability than we would with something like the Paracord or the SP10 foregrip. I have the AOK 4x on this as well. Once again, jack glassless if you're going to rebirth, and then of course the 60 round mag because it's our largest option. The BAL 27 is an absolute weapon in the right hands. And then I'm pairing that with the Striker 9 because the Striker 9 feels almost as good as the Striker 45. This feels so much like the Lockman sub did last year. And I know we have the Lockman sub, but you know what I mean when it was the Lockman sub. It has a very similar reload speed. The only difference is we have 50 here instead of 40 because there is no 40 round mag option. Let's break it down. This thing is absolutely nuts. Now I am going with the ECS Requieter suppressor, which does give a visible laser. You can switch to the Shadow Strike instead, or even the Sonic suppressor if you want. Those are your three options for suppressors on this. Paracord grip is a must to remove all of the horizontal recoil on this thing. 50 round drum because we only have that option, and it is definitely worth it. SAC and ZX rear grip to get the recoil control absolutely under control here, and then the Striker factory stock to make this thing fly and fry. The Striker 9 is one of the most aggressive SMGs in the game, and it is incredible, especially on Rebirth Island. And then I want to go over a gun that's not getting a whole lot of love right now, but it is absolutely insane, and that is the TAC Evolvery. The TAC Evolvery is absolutely S tier meta, and no one's talking about it. It's extremely easy to use, and it feels a lot like the DTIR, our new gun, except you have a 75 or 100 round drum, depending on what you're using for your ammunition type. For this one, we're going to start with a quartermaster suppressor as always. Then we're going to throw on the Righteous long barrel to push our range and velo as always. The SA Kila Nova stock to get our aim stability under control. High grain ammunition to push velo and range through the roof. And then I have the RQ9 on here. As you know, use the optic of your choice. The TAC Evolvery is absolutely insane. If you haven't used it in a while, give it a go because I'm having so much fun with this thing. Another gun that's flying under the radar and did get a buff with this patch, and it was already insane, is the Ram 9. And again, this is a top 3 SMG for me. I absolutely love this thing. This thing is amazing in every single mode across the board and is absolutely at the top of the SMG meta as well. And this is one of the few SMGs we're going to start with the Quartermaster suppressor, and then we're going to add the Armistice light barrel because it does not hurt our range, but it gives us all of our ADS and movement like most guns get from, say, a stock. We're then going to add the motion tac pad to up our movement even further. Paracord grip to remove any of the remaining horizontal recoil, and then we're going to add the 50 round mag. This thing is another hyper aggressive, in your face, flying around the map, hunting people SMG. And hey, I just wanted to take a moment to say, did I earn your like? Did I earn your subscribe? Leave a comment below if there's a gun I forgot to talk about so far, or your guesses on what will be the best gun of the meta outside of the DTIR this season. Let's get back into it. And then staying with LMGs, let's talk about our other new gun, the Kastov LSW, which feels a lot like an LMG version of the M13B because the fire rate is absolutely insane and it absolutely fries in the mid to long range. I know they said to use this in a close range, but it feels really weird for that, but out to 100 to 150 meters and anywhere in between, you can absolutely slap your opponents. We're going to start with the Quartermaster suppressor and throw on the Mitigator X40 heavy barrel. This gun has a lot of recoil, and by doing this, we remove essentially all of it. Paracord to bring the horizontal under control, which this gun pulls hard left, just like the M16. We're actually going to use high velocity instead of high grain to up our velo even higher because we don't have that long barrel giving us the velo. Don't worry about your damage range. This thing has so many bullets coming out. It's an absolute heater. Think about this the way you would the M13B, which is still an absolute demon itself. It's all about getting shots down range and getting them on target. Trust the motion because the gun absolutely fries. I've got the KR Mortis Precision as my optic on this gun, and I don't change it no matter where I'm going because this optic is literally perfect for this gun. If you like the Eagle's Eye, same thing. They have the same zoom. I just prefer this over the Eagle Eye. The cast-off LSW is absolutely wonderful. I love my high fire rate guns. With a 100-round drum, I can fry an entire quad from across the map. And then, all right, fellas, I've got a new build for the static that I'm working with. I swear every time I talk about this gun, I've got a new build on it. I think I finally found the one for me, and I think it's the best one yet. And with this one, we're going to start with the ECS Requieter Suppressor. Once again, you can swap this off for, say, the Sonic Suppressor or the Shatter Strike. It's up to you, pros and cons you want. Remember, we do have a visible laser with the Requieter. We're going to use the Garrett 8 long barrel, the paracord grip to remove any remaining horizontal recoil and up the sprint to fire, the Salvo 580 heavy stock, stability, recoil control, you know the drill, Jack glassless optic because the irons look so good on this gun, but they feel so weird. We just put the optic on to get it done. I love the static, especially now that it's not the new gun. I do wish they would actually nerf this thing just a little bit. And we're actually not done talking about the new gun in the HCAR, the DTR 30-06, because I have a sniper support build here that is absolutely insane, and you will fry people and leave them extremely confused. And with this one, we're going to use our brand new suppressor in the X10 Binate. This is just like the Requieter, but it's for a larger cal gun, 4% ADS, visible laser, only stats it has. We're going to put on the Barter XS short barrel to turn this thing into a sniper support roll. Jack glassless is the optic to put on. You don't need an optic. I would just swap that off for the ADS rear grip. 30-round mag is more than enough for a sniper support roll. 40 will slow you down more if you want to use it. I would definitely give 30 a try before going to 40. Finishing off with that paracord to remove any of that horizontal recoil. This feels so good in sniper support. I think it's going to be a gun that really pops off as sniper support in 2 or 3 weeks. And then I'm pairing that with our big boy sniper, one shots anywhere on the map. Of course, this is my big map setup. So let's break down the Cat AMR. And with this build, we're going to use the Sonic Suppressor with the Zang 34 barrel and the high velocity ammo. One shots anywhere on the map. We just want to push our velo through the roof. Old AV laser for stability, aim down and sprint out. The precision stock pad, once again, upping our stability as high as we can. If you want to change your optic and take off the stock pad and put it on, same for a fast bolt. You can also swap that stock. The Cat AMR feels great, but it is a slow ADS sniper. All right, let's talk about Old Faithful, because if you need a gun for mid-long range that will always get the job done, it's always A tier, but it's never at the top of its class. We need to talk about the Sig Spear or the Baz B, which has always been good. It's very easy to use, and it absolutely fries. With this, we're going to use the Quartermaster Suppressor with the Bruin Venom long barrel to get all of that control, range, and velo right there. Paracord grip just to get that horizontal recoil under control. 45-round mag is the largest we have, and it's more than enough. Then the AOK 4x RQ9 Recon on the big map, and of course the glassless on the small map. This thing is always a good choice. And speaking of always good choices, I have it paired up with the Saperi 46, because even though they continuously nerf this, it stays good. Let's break this down, because this is my favorite build for the Saperi. We're going to start with the ECS Requieter Suppressor. Once again, a Shatter Strike or even the Sonic can be subbed in if you don't want a visible laser. Paracord grip to remove the little vertical recoil this thing has. Rescue 9 stock to up our movement, add recoil control, all of the good stuff. Sakin ZX grip. Once again, we need firing aim stability somewhere, so it's going on here. And the 40-round mag to finish it off. If you do need an optic, drop the Sakin grip and throw on the optic. That's going to make it your best bet, but this gun has the best irons in the game. I love the Saperi. It feels good still. You just need to be more aggressive. And the gun that has been at the absolute top of the meta for the last week or so is still an absolute demon, and that is the Pull Me Out 7.62 or PKM. This is the build I've fallen in love with, and it absolutely gets the job done anywhere you need to take it. Just be mindful, it is an LMG, so it's heavy and it has a long reload. Quartermaster Suppressor with the Pyro heavy barrel. Then we're going to actually use the Hound 9G grip, because we can't get the paracord to the Bruin heavy or the FTAC SP10, so the Hound 9G is going to give us our most stability and recoil without hurting the gun too much. 75-round belt is my choice to speed the gun up. You can leave the 100 and throw on the ADS grip if you would like, and then I have the AOK big map and the glassless small map. The Pull Me Out is not going anywhere, and it's definitely earned its spot. And then I'm actually pairing that with the Reclaimer 18, and this build is incredible. Nobody knows about it, and it is a 2-pump to 15 meters. You heard me right. You can drop somebody in 2 shots to 15 meters in pump action. Let's break it down. It is an ADS build, and it is absolutely insane. We're going to start with the Bryson choke, and the reason for the Bryson choke is this makes sure that all of the 4 pellets that are shot with each shot stay extremely tight together, and all 4 hit at at 15 meters. The Discourager 900 is the barrel we're going to use to push our range to its max distance. These two together is how we're hitting at 15 meters. ER6 hand stop to speed us up with ADS sprint to fire and the movement speeds to get around. The Hinge LAF light stock, once again, just trying to speed the gun up. You can go stockless, but it has a horrible ADS if you do. And we're using the center mass grip tape, once again, to speed the gun up even more. The Reclaimer 18 with an ADS build is absolutely insane because you can drop people in all of the SMG range, and I mean all the way out to the max range of SMGs doing their highest damage. The Reclaimer will slap any SMG in the teeth, and it's absolutely nothing for it to do it. Haven't used the Reclaimer, or if you think this build is not what I'm saying it is, give it a try and write home about it. And then, all right, this one is actually for rebirth only, but it feels real good. I actually used this in the purgatory mode, and it was extremely good. That's the M16 with the aftermarket part, making it full auto. It just feels like an M4 because, I mean, it is. And with this build, it's the Quartermaster suppressor. However, we're going to use the FTAC SP10 angled grip so we can get the 12% horizontal as well as aim stability because we don't have anywhere to get it on this thing. Of course, we start with the Jack Patriot conversion kit to make it full auto. 60 round mag, the largest we have. Then throw in the Jack glassless because the irons are awful on this thing. The M16 Patriot is a magnificent weapon, and it did just catch a buff. Definitely give it a shot. The small map, or you can run this in sniper support. However, I'm pairing that with one of the other most aggressive SMGs in the game, and this one you really got to be aggressive. That's the FJX Horus. So fast, so smooth. I still love the Horus. We're going to start with the Quartermaster suppressor to get all of the recoil this gun has under control. The Sin 9 long barrel because we at least want to be able to fight to 10 meters with our max damage. OP SMG foregrip to speed us up in every way. The Ripper light stock speeding us up even more. And the 60 round drum is absolutely the choice because it has the same cons as the 48, so why not just take the extra 12 rounds? FGX Horus is definitely fallen a bit out of favor in the last weeks, especially, you know, as other guns have moved up, but it still is a monster, and it's absolutely worth using if you know how to use it. If you need an optic, you can drop off the Ripper light stock and throw on the glassless. However, I would suggest getting used to the irons if you're gonna use this gun. And then, all right, let's finish off with the Kar 98K because the Kar 98K is always gonna be good, and it just has to go into every video. Same build I've put out before. It's not gonna change. This thing's gonna stay the same, and it'll probably be viable next year too. We're gonna start with the Silentium 792 suppressor because we don't need to worry about pushing our velo as high as humanly possible. We lose 1% here and we gain a ton of aim stability. The longest barrel for the range, velo, and stability. The FSS Ole View laser, once again stability, but also ADS so we can get those pot shots out. High grain for maximum velocity and range. Then I have the Corio 13 times on. Use the optic you like. I'm just more familiar with this one, so it's the one I'm gonna use. It's the Kar 98. We all know what it does. Give it a shot. This feels way better than using the sonic suppressor. And then we got one last sniper sport option to talk about, and it's been around forever, but I've really fallen in love with this build in the last about 3 weeks. That's the MCW with the Raven kit. We all know how good it is. Let's break it down. Being a sniper support build, we need to be almost as snappy as an SMG, so we're not gonna use the Quartermaster. We're gonna use the Scratch 20 to get some firing aim stability. ER6 hand stop because we're gonna use this like an SMG that we can push to 50 meters if we need to. Speed it up, the ADS, the sprint, the fire, all that jazz. The RB Precision Heavy stock gives us a ton of stability and 12% recoil control without really hurting our ADS. This stock is absolutely incredible with the Jack Raven kit. Then of course, 40 round is our max. The MCW Jack Raven feels absolutely wonderful. And all right guys, that's gonna do it for me. Until next time, leave me alone and like the video.
If it's going down, yeah, you know who it